Hello everyone, 2024 has been a remarkable year so far. It's a year of change, with more and more people understanding the necessity of asset diversification and tax optimization. But on the same note, it's also a year with more potential counterattacks from governments trying to implement all kinds of measures to control everything. For the Offshore Corp Talk community, 2024 holds more than that. It's also the year that marks 15 years of existence. And on this occasion, please allow us to introduce you to some of our landmarks and how we've managed to get there. It all started with an idea. Back in 2009, the Offshore Corp Talk was far from the community it is today. Originally known as CC Logic, it served as an extension for a Cyprus company formation service. The idea was to provide a safe environment for clients after establishing their companies in Cyprus. It started as a support forum offering FAQs, discussions, and ideas. The forum was acquired by Brian Larson in 2011, and that's when it became the Offshore Corp Talk Forum. Soon after that, we've adopted John Locke's philosophy. Read about it further down. In the beginning, we shared ideas about the best countries to start a business in and why. We talked about the tax systems in different countries as well as their stability. Back in the day, we had no lawyers, experts, or accountants hanging around the forum, so we had to figure it all out by ourselves. Our focus was primarily on company formation. And as funny as it may seem today, it looked super simple from behind a screen. Deep down inside us, we had no idea what we truly wanted. But pretty much everything we did was related to the idea of optimizing tax and spreading money around. There were a bunch of us, so the moment a new user signed up, we were all thrilled. We had no detailed guides back then, but just ideas that we shared. And with time, more and more people turned up and registered, becoming a small community of just a few dozen people, not more. But to us, it was massive. Identifying with John Locke's principles. As the Offshore Corp Talk Forum welcomed over 10,000 users, we realized we're not the only ones looking for a solution. We weren't the only ones looking for freedom, be it financial or social. And at one point, as reading a book explaining English philosophy from the Age of Enlightenment, year 2018, one of our administrations realized that we're not as innovative as we believed. This concept wasn't new at all. It was more obvious today in the capitalist era, but it wasn't new. John Locke, 1632 to 1704, once said that every man has property in his own person. And that's when it hit him. We're rich ourselves, and if we allow governments to take our lives over, we're no longer here. In today's digital age, social media exposes everything we say, think, and do. Search engines cover our searches and make recommendations based on what they spy on. You can't even hold money in a bank account without paying maintenance fees. These principles are strongly against what we believe in. They're against what John Locke once believed in, and that's when we decided to adopt this philosophy to build a solid community on. It was something the whole group agreed on once we were introduced to it. The first guides. Our first guides were released as we had already gained hundreds of new users. Back in the day, it was a bit of a headache because many of us had a full knowledge package, but none of us had hands-on experience on offshore company formation, relocation, taxes, and assets. With more people joining our squad and introducing themselves in forums, we realized we drew the attention of lawyers, providers, company representatives, attorneys, accountants, you name it. This meant we had inside support, as well as more detailed solutions from people who knew what they were talking about. The moment we had our first guide written by our admins featuring info from a tax accountant and a lawyer was decisive. That's when we knew the Offshore Corp Talk Forum was no longer just a forum, it was a community. A community bringing people together, sharing information and working together to help the world. Our first guides covered company formation ideas, tax optimization solutions, setups to reduce tax or diversify assets, all kinds of jurisdictions, you name it. The actual growth. Our company exploded with more and more guides and discussions. Our forum had hundreds of threads and thousands of users by 2016. We realized it was no longer a small forum, so we took it through a massive upgrade. The growth overwhelmed us. While initially upset about it, we can still remember the first time we found our guides copied on other sites word by word. But we knew we were the original, and while copycats bothered us, we knew we were going in the right direction. Then we've seen some referencing on other sites, not to mention quite a few other portals that tried to grow following the same ideas. We started a trend and we were leading it. No matter what people searched for in terms of offshore optimization setups, ideas, or jurisdictions, the OffshoreCorpTalk forum was the first result for all search engines, with more and more references from reputable websites as well. Further innovation. We knew we hit the jackpot. We shared the OffshoreCorpTalk forum into more categories, some of them free, others available with a subscription, only because they include guides and data that just can't be made public. Our Mentor Group Gold section, for example, includes providers, contacts, specific guides, and the opportunity to use services advertised there. Our guides became much more specific, with so many professionals and service providers around us. We've started gaining sponsorships from companies, but we've also introduced video guides and even interviews with some of the companies providing their services on the forum. Our OffshoreCorpTalk forum is no longer a forum, but a freemium platform that dominates the industry. And while it took us nearly a decade to make it big, this is only the beginning. OffshoreCorpTalk in 2024. Celebrating 15 years, we invite everyone to take part. We don't need anything from you, but just to see your success. If you make it, we make it. We know we've contributed to it, and that's what makes us happy. We count nearly 25,000 members. We have over 280,000 posts. We're a giant. And while this means we have a strong word in the offshore industry, it also means we're being targeted by more and more institutions that just aren't happy with our reviews or disclosures. We've gathered together a team of 2 freelancers and 4 moderators to ensure the forum has a smooth run, but also to provide as many guides as possible. Our goal is to keep the forum up to date, but also accurate. So there's a lot of daily cleaning to do. All these, of course, without trying to interfere with our users' words. We won't talk about the light setbacks we've experienced over these 15 years because it's just not worth it. We've managed to overcome every obstacle, and when we say we mean you as well. This isn't about a bunch of people who started the OffshoreCorpTalk forum, but about the thousands of people who worked together and contributed to make it big. The forum wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the people. On the same note, we can't overlook the financial support we've received from sponsors and advertisers. It's not all about maintaining an idea, but also about maintaining servers and systems for a growing community. We feel the urge to thank institutions and companies like Swiss Money, Emirates Setup, DSL Dubai, Turner Little, and the Kingdom Bank, which have supported the forum for quite a few years. Not to mention all the advertisers who make this growth reality. These being said, we're happy to celebrate our 15th anniversary along with everyone involved, both old and new users, ready to pursue their dreams and make them reality. Thank you one more time, and we hope to see you around and even more of you at our next milestone. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content.